What means modern publishing to you?
Really, the most important thing to me is serving our consumer audience. And I think very broadly of the word publishing, and I think of that whether it's publishing in print or publishing on the traditional web or on a mobile device or even on a tablet. But the most important thing to me and to us at Meredith is to provide the kind of content that she wants to receive to help her take care of her children and her home and her family.
Are there any differences between special interest and generalist interest titles?
Well, you have a greater opportunity with a special interest title to be much more targeted in the information that you provide. And probably my best example of that at Meredith would be to compare our Better Homes and Gardens reader, 40 million of them each and every month, to a very high-end home decorating magazine that we have called Traditional Home, where we focus on a particular decorating style, and we have a very, very engaged consumer audience. They pay a very high price for the magazine, and they renew at a high rate, fundamentally because they are so engaged and because the content is so targeted.
So social media is not overestimated, as many people are saying.
I think social media provides many more opportunities to get feedback from the consumer and also to provide her information in between the monthly issues of our magazines or even the daily cycle of our web properties, and to allow the consumer audience to interact with one another in a way that they're not really able to do in a traditional media platform.
You also are publishing on iPad. Do you think that the iPad is the killer application for magazine publishers?
No, I really don't, but I think it will be another way to serve a certain segment of our consumer where we have the opportunity to bring together what might have been historically shown in print along with a seamless migration to our website and some rich media such as video in a way that historically we haven't been able to do on the separate or the individual platforms. But I believe that a certain large group of our consumers will still, in fact, for many years prefer the printed product.
And what about free and paid content? What is your strategy on the web?
Well, I think on the web, on the traditional consumer web, it's very difficult to charge for the content that we create. We are very focused, as I believe most of our magazine competitors are as we move to the tablet environment, to make sure that we do in fact get paid for the content and not recreate the environment that we did as media companies where paid content was given away free on the web.
And what about advertising? The total ad spendings in digital advertising will go up to $75 billion. How do you want to get a bite of this cake?
I think the most important way to do it is to grow aggressively the consumer audience, because it is an easier sale today in digital, but it's important to have some scale to offer our marketing and advertising partners because they're interested in fewer major buys to sell more product through to the individual consumer. So I think in whatever area a publisher chooses to move, it needs to be an area where they can scale a very large audience and attract advertising dollars in what is a very, very fragmented space on the consumer web.